Now look, people will probably point out that the Mavericks didn't have their full squad, will probably say the Lakers didn't look that good, and will probably even say the most hateful things in the comments and complain rather than enjoying the game. But in the NBA, sometimes you have a grinded out win that can still be entertaining. In his first game versus former team, Luka Doncic had a triple-double with 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists, and the 40-year-old LeBron James continues to showcase his longevity with 27 points and 12 rebounds while dominating in the fourth quarter with 16 points. This showing from the Lakers may not have been the same as the Denver game, but when you watch this offense, you can see they can cause any team a ton of problems. I want you all to look at a couple plays and tell me what you notice. When Luka comes off this high screen, the Mavs are a little late to switch, and I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. With Luka able to operate on his left side practically alone, all eyes are on him as the Mavs know he will be the focal point of the offense early on, but this is something you can't do when he's on the floor. Now remember when I said they were late on the switch? Well, this is where it plays a part. Because with Kai now playing the middle ground between helping and having slight coverage on Hayes, this allows Jackson to live in this dunker spot uncovered, so by the time Kyrie can react to this adjustment from Luka in midair, Hayes is already drop stepping it in for the slam.
Inside Jackson Hayes.
On this next play, you're going to see the left side clear again, but this time it's for LeBron to go one-on-one with Marshall. And immediately, you're going to see Powell shift over to get in a help position while telling Max to cover the backside. With LeBron's IQ and him realizing what's going on, he starts to attack the middle, which forces the defense to focus on him. So at this point, LeBron could hit connect at the top of the key due to the double being sent his way, but with him knowing that Powell is the only help backside, you're going to see Dwight take that step towards LeBron, but at that same exact time, you're going to see LeBron throw the lob, and with no one there to cover Hayes, you now have this alley-oop connection. And last but certainly not least, you're going to see Austin Reeves and Hayes initiate a two-man action at the top of the key, and with much pressure put on the defense, this forces Powell to step up to stop Austin from driving all the way to the basket, and look what we have here. It's a wide open runway, and now it's time to take flight. Now I'm sure some of you will say, it's just normal passes to Jackson Hayes, but nah, it's not that simple. It's the fact that the Lakers have three guys who at any given moment can shift the entire defense in their favor and make the right read time and time again. When you have a squad like this who can pick apart the defense, guys who show hard to get putbacks off the rim, and also have moments of smothering defense to then force a turnover, this is when you know your team is starting to connect on all cylinders. With this being a night for Luka to set the tone against his former team, the ball was in his hands a lot, and although he didn't have the most efficient night, he still displayed why he can still be a threat when he's on the floor no matter how bad he shoots the ball. Sometimes it takes getting these easy cleanup buckets for an and-one that can get you into a flow. And other times, it may take some fight with a little bit of help of an AR-15 to stick the defense up that could then lead to you seeing something fall through the basket. Not every time will it be so simple as using that nasty decel to get two defenders on a trampoline before finishing, so you're going to have to be able to play through a little bit of contact without being affected to still add some points to the board. With the defense so worried about Luka's ability to score the ball, you'll see these times where two defenders are locked in on him and totally ignore that LeBron James is getting a position behind them. Now Kyrie Irving does notice this, so he starts to slide over for the help, but this is where being a master at your craft comes in handy. Because now Luka decides to look to the corner where Finney-Smith is wide open, as he knows this will make Irving jump back out. And with Klay now being the only defender backside who has to either pick between committing to LeBron or guarding Rui on the three, this puts him in a tough spot, and if you don't react quick enough, you're just going to be watching another bucket be converted in close. Passes like that show you it doesn't need to be flashy, you just have to be able to read the defense. Such as on this play here, Luka knows he has Kyrie on his backside and Marshall in front ready to cut him off. At this point, he's not really worried about these two. He's more worried about Spencer Dinwiddie on the backside. Now why is that? Well, with Luka already knowing he has two defenders committed to him, he has to watch and see what the last line of defense is going to do to make his move accordingly. Now with great players, not only do they react quickly to defensive shifts, but they also will be the one doing the shifting of the defense. If you analyze the whole floor, Max Christie has to match up with Vincent on the wing, PJ Washington is trailing a play coming Luka's way, so for Dinwiddie, he has to make a quick decision. Either get out to Finney-Smith to stop this three, or drop back further to cover Vandal on the backside. If we roll the film, Luka doesn't telegraph the pass as he instead looks right into the eyes of Dinwiddie, which forces him to make a blind move, and when you pick the wrong choice, well, it's game over. I know things look simple, but they can honestly be more complex than you think. Sending doubles like this when an offensive player's back is turned can sometimes work in your favor, but this only works if a few things are true. 1, the player you're going to double has to be someone who can't make good reads out of tough positions, and then 2, you have to have a weak side defender who can position himself correctly to be able to rotate in a quick manner. Honestly, for the Mavs, you never want to put Dwight Powell in a position where he has to battle his mind against Luka's, because right now you can see that Reeves and Rui are wide open. So to make the defense shift in his favor to get his guys a clean look, Luka is going to gather in a way that looks like he's going to Reeves. This now makes Powell commit that way, and with their friendly bounce, Rui cashes in from the corner. At this point, some people will now start to say, you're glazing, but that's not the case. It's simply just showing you how you can break a defense without even scoring the ball. With high-level scorers, you're always going to have the defense in the palm of your hands, so much so that you'll end up having 3 defenders suck to you like a vacuum. And at this point, honestly, you have your choosing. All this is only possible if you can deal with having many guys come your way without panicking to ensure you make the correct decision. But even more than that, it all starts with being able to beat your defender off the dribble to collapse the defense, and this here is why your teammates will love playing next to you. Luka just makes life easier for anyone around him, as they'll constantly get open looks when he's on the floor. And it's crazy to say it, but now it's not LeBron creating all the looks for the team, as he now benefits off the Luka gravity himself. And this one right here is straight cash. At 40 years old, LeBron is still one of the best players on the floor, showing more heart than guys younger than him. And when you see that nobody wants to get directly in front of him as he pushes right past the defense to go score, it shows you just how dominant he still is. Of course, there's going to be tons of haters surrounding his game, but when he's making shots going left and shooting back right over the defense, you cannot deny this high level of skill. With his driving being the focal point of his game, you're going to have the backside help step up to take that away from him. But if you've been over here at Hoop Mastery, this is why I always say having a counter to anything the defense throws at you is key, because now Bron can use that hezzy to then attack out to this right side, and with a tough fade over the defense, this one is pure money. Over the years, LeBron has worked on his game to be a more consistent shooter, which makes him even harder to guard in his later years. So if you're to give him ample amount of space to pull up, he'll do so with no hesitation. The ability to have 2 guys such as Bron and Luka share the court together makes this offense so versatile, as they both can score or facilitate the ball to set up their teammates. And everybody listen up real fast. There's many solid third options in the league, but it's time we really start looking at Austin Reeves as one of, if not the best one. Now hold on, don't start taking this as I'm some Lakers fan, because trust me, I'm certainly not. But when you actually love the game and everything guys bring on the court, you can easily see that Austin Reeves has a talent that a lot of guys in the league just don't have. Like, you tell me, when a player not only has LeBron, but now has Luka on his team, how many guys will still be this aggressive and make way for himself to create on the court? This right here takes another level of skill and confidence, and boy oh boy do I wish I could have someone like this on my Orlando Magic squad. Like I said when this video first started, this win isn't something that you throw a parade for, but with another win in the books for the Lakers, this shows you how potent their offense can look even when they have a bad shooting night. As the rest of the season continues, I look to cover many teams and players around the NBA, and what better way to stay up to date than to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.